All right, guys, so we got our first guest here, SallyT, the man, the one and only, the myth, the legend, all those good things. Sal is one of Riley's clients. Awesome to have you on, I suppose, right? I guess we'll see. The time will tell whether it's awesome or not to have you on. Yeah. But yeah, we feel like we're balling on a budget a little bit, but I think it's also cool to have some clients on and get a chance to talk to you guys and see, what's going on kind of behind the scenes. And I think essentially that's kind of what we're going for here, right? Kind of talking about behind the scenes, but it's also going to be, that kind of fitness influence that we all know and love, and that's so much part of, every calorie counts in our day-to-days. So that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll get right into it. I have a couple of hard hitters for Sal right out of the gate.
Are you just going to ask him a question, or should he introduce himself?
Are you surprised that you're our first guest? Is this a surprise for you?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I pushed heavy for you.
I don't know why, because I'm just going to roast you the whole time.
That's fine, but I thought it would be funny.
Yeah. Were you shocked when he gave you the call? Like, oh yeah, you guys want me to be on? First guest? Actually, Chris was our first guest, but we canned the podcast because he was fucking awful. But he's coming back. He's going to come back sooner or later. Chris, our videographer, by the way.
No, honestly, it's a pleasure.
Shout out to Real Media.
But
shout out
when
hard.
he texted
Sorry,
me,
Sal, go ahead.
He texted me and he was like, "Are you up?" And I was like, "Man knows I'm awake." So I was like, "What the f does this guy want?"
That's exactly what it sounds like when some dirty is hitting you up.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how he did it. And he was like, "Call me."
Good for you.
And then he was like, "You want to be on the podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. That'd be sick." Then I was like, is it just gonna be Tim making fun of me the whole time? And he was
said
like,
yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Is that actually what he said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But I figured I'll come over here and take the heat off of Riley for a week,
Yeah. You sure? All right, so first hard-hitting questions on that note. What size shirt do you think Riley's wearing right now?
Right now, medium.
You think so? Really? Really? Okay.
Is that your final answer?
No, what? 2X?
What?
It's an XL.
It's an XL?
Yeah, I thought
What size shirt do you think Tim's wearing?
3X, he told us.
Yeah, buddy.
What did Marina say as soon as he put?
Marina was not part of this conversation.
No, it wasn't me talking. It was my alter ego.
Okay. Marina said that shirt looks way too big, Tim.
No, I said that shirt looks big.
Next question.
Swimming in it.
At any point in your coaching relationship with Riley, did he force you to do any type of performance-enhancing drugs?
Not at all. That's actually, honestly, like the first
Pull your
thing.
mic up.
The first thing I was kind of like, I wanted to go with somebody I trusted if I wanted to go into the dark side, So, like, obviously, like, me and Riley kind of became friends before I joined with ECC. So, like, just, like, the friendship that we kind of developed was, like, all right, like, I trust him to, like, take care of my body.
Used your trust to his advantage.
Emotional
Basically,
manipulation.
Yeah. He's not even
that's what
my
they call
friend.
that.
Yeah.
What was the first question I asked you?
The first thing he asked me was if I was on steroids. Because I was 4 weeks out of my first show that I looked like.
Wait, you
What's the question? What's the second?
Yeah, OCB though.
I don't know anything
I
about
still
you.
have hard-hitting questions, by the way. We're going to get to all this.
Okay.
My last hard-hitting question is, and I feel like this one's very important. It's not about Riley whatsoever. Is it true that you've given up on bodybuilding entirely and you stopped posting on all of your social media accounts because you've just found out what the first time in your life? This is kind of like an acknowledgement from the outside looking in.
No,
you know
honestly, the social media thing's more of like shout out to Spencer. He doesn't come to the gym anymore. He was doing all my video stuff, so he hasn't lifted. So I'll be damned if I go back to my roots and set up a tripod in the gym. Especially because now all the broccoli hairs that set up tripods now, I don't want to be one of them. So when he was filming everything, it was a lot easier.
Are you denying the fact that you just got into a relationship and now you don't work out anymore? Are you denying this?
I still work out.
Are you denying this? So you
No,
are
I'm in
denying.
a relationship, but like I still work out. She comes to gym with me.
Okay, is this true?
Does she?
This is true.
That's so fun.
Okay.
But he did give up bodybuilding to play soccer on a turf field for fun with friends.
Well, that's kind of the history, right? Like that's where it kind of starts. If we're being serious for a second,
Realistically, yeah.
That's where
college athlete, pro soccer wasn't really in the cards anymore.
Why? Because you
I
realized you were light and stuff.
I had a trial in Iceland to go pro, and then I blew my entire knee out my sophomore year of college. So after knee surgery, like nobody was interested anymore. So I was kind of like, all right, like after college, soccer's kind of scrapped. So I need something to give my life structure. So I was kind of like, all right, like I'm gonna start going to the gym, and I kind of turned one thing into another, and decided to get into bodybuilding, and then decided to switch to Riley so I can take it a little bit more seriously because I wasn't really.
What do you mean switch to Riley?
So I had a coach prior that brought me through, and I feel like the fact that he was kind of like remote from a different state, like kind of like coaching me from afar, I needed somebody that was more like within reach where I could like lift with them. They can like make sure that I'm doing everything correctly. So it kind of helped a little bit to like have someone, and obviously an actual bodybuilding coach versus I had a lifestyle coach kind of teaching me, how to like lift and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he was learning how to be a bodybuilding coach as well. So I was his first like bodybuilding competitive client.
Right. So it went from soccer straight into bodybuilding.
Well, just more sports in general. Like I played soccer and lacrosse in college. I played ice hockey in high school as well as
What
soccer.
college you go to?
I went to Keystone College in Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania for 2 years and then transferred. I went to school at Rosemont College in Philly.
Okay. So and then you got a tryout. Is that how soccer works? A tryout, or is it like that's kind of like the added, like, you know, at the end of the day, like a football player, for example, if he doesn't get drafted, he can sign as a free agent, right? But it's just that those chances are going to be that much more minimal to make it in the league when they go in as a free agent versus being drafted by a team. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, obviously, like soccer, like even like unless you have like an outstanding, like you're ranked super high in the state, or like you have like amazing like collegiate,
Same
like
thing with every sport, right?
Exactly, like going like without like you'd get an agent and try to like.
Let me ask you this. Let me put it a different way. Is there a draft for like the Premier League or whatever, where they would actually draft out of the United States, or is that not a thing?
Not. No,
so
like
anybody that comes out of the United States from a collegiate level, where would they initially go to play professional soccer?
So like the MLS has, which is like the American like top division, has a draft, but like if you want to play like overseas and stuff, you have to go on trial with a team and like through an agent.
Would playing overseas in any random place, because let's be real, overseas, it's like that's where soccer is. Like soccer is like baseball overseas, right? Like it's everywhere. So would that be, what would be more kind of like prestigious or even more valuable monetarily? Like, is it going to be the MLS, or is it going to be playing randomly like in Iceland or whatever? I have a client that was a professional soccer player, and he played in like the Cayman Islands for years.
Yeah.
He played in fucking some like Eastern Europe. Right, some sort of country over there. He played for a little while, but he went all over the place playing, and he had like a 13-year career or something like that, going all the way around and playing. Had some brutal injuries that took him out. But again, my question is, MLS or playing overseas, like which one's more prestigious? Does it just matter like how good you are or what?
Well, like overseas, like obviously like top divisions overseas are gonna be like hold way more weight than like playing in the MLS, because the MLS is kind of like, it's kind of been like known for like where players that played overseas come to end their careers,
right?
Just to make some money.
Well,
but like,
you're saying Premier League though specifically, right?
Premier League, like the Bundesliga in Germany and stuff like that, like top tier, like the top division in like the main like Italy, England, Germany, like where it's huge.
Right.
Like those leagues, like it takes a lot to get into, but like they farm through their own academies where they bring kids up.
Yeah.
But like in the United States, like the easiest way to get into a pro club is to go through the academy here. But then you're getting signed to like a homegrown contract where like you actually make less. Yeah. Until like you prove yourself. Right. So like the draft would be like how you make the most money, because you're not coming on a homegrown contract, so they're signing you as an actual player versus like an academy player that got his first contract. Right. So you make a lot more money that way, but like to get drafted is a lot harder, because like if you didn't play D1, like there's really no chance of you getting drafted. Gotcha.
But so now, was that kind of like the whole goal for you in school, was soccer? Like,
yeah,
that was
that's like the only reason I went to college.
Really?
Yeah, I hate school. It was just to play soccer.
So it was either you were going to fucking make pepperonis or you were going to play soccer.
And I ended up with pepperonis. There's one of two directions.
Nobody
for
has any
Italians.
idea what we're talking about.
No, I have no idea.
I make pizzas at my dad's pizzeria.
It's not a pizzeria.
Big City, yeah.
He puts Hot Pockets in the microwave for his dad.
Dude, Hot Pockets are good, man.
So, pepperonis. That's where we're at right now, right? Like it ended up, we wanted to be the bodybuilder and all that stuff is still happening, right? But it ended up going from soccer to essentially the pizzeria is how we're making ends meet.
Yeah, like right now, that's kind of like how I afford gym memberships, like all that kind of stuff.
Life. But that's how long has the pizzeria been in the family for? Is it a relatively new thing?
So the pizzeria, my dad's had for 6 years, but like he's owned businesses my entire life. Like he owned like 4-star restaurants that I used to wait at. That was a lot more fun because I used to make $400 or $500 a weekend. Yeah. To work two dinner rushes. So like that was like obviously more fun to do, and it went by faster. But like it was kind of I was coaching soccer for the New York Red Bulls Youth Academy, and when COVID hit, things kind of slowed down there, and like with staff and everything the way it was, trying to keep the business open, I ended up quitting to help like keep the business open, and I kind of got like stuck.
What happened during COVID for you guys?
For coaching,
Did you guys forget about coaching. Who cares about
we
that?
had to, like,
Let's be real.
oh, yeah.
No, seriously, the pizza place. Seriously, like that's a big thing. Like,
Yeah.
how did you guys do anything on the side as far as COVID is concerned? To
Well,
make
for
money, or
COVID, what we did was because we were in like a plot, like we were in like a mini mall.
Right.
Like nobody was allowed to come through our front door at all. So like the only way we really did it was we were taking whatever business we could get, and we weren't allowed to deliver because of COVID. So it was basically people had to show up.
Wait a second, you couldn't deliver food for COVID? We couldn't get deliveries? I
You
thought we
probably
get
could, but
deliveries.
who's ordering
No,
food?
yeah, I think we
I'm not
did.
ordering to have some dude come to me.
Yeah, breathing all over your food and
I'm pretty
handing
sure I
it to
ordered
you.
a lot of food during COVID.
Yeah, I feel like everyone ordered a lot of food
Yeah.
now.
But I mean, we didn't have a driver, so everybody was picking up like food out of our back door.
Oh.
Really? And was that kind of like illegal, or was it like that was okay?
No, it was allowed through the landlord. They said as long as nobody steps foot in the like mall, you're fine. So we had like a tent set up. We had walkie-talkies because the front of the shop is where the register was. The back door is all the way at the back. So we'd like take people's money, walk all the way back, scan their card, ring their money up, bring them change, bring them the receipt.
Did you guys do okay considering?
Enough to keep the business open. Obviously, it was kind of like a skeleton crew. It was like me, my dad. Then like obviously like Fridays, Saturdays were a little bit busier than like all the other days. So it was like I would go work there with my dad. It would be just the two of us. And then on like the busier days, we'd have like our chef would come in or like our counter girl would come in. So he tried to keep them working a little bit. But it was more like just working out the back door, like taking whatever money you could.
Yeah.
Because obviously like the landlords weren't charging us rent at that time because they knew like you were literally working out of the back door and nobody could actually walk into your place. So you lost all dining, you lost all like normal pickup, lost almost all delivery. So
Yeah.
it was a struggle.
Yeah, I bet. No, seriously, that's like the scary shit. You know what I mean? It's like when you have a business
And the
like
thing
that.
is, I was only like 2 or 3
a
years
food
old at that
business.
point, so it was like, I feel like a business takes like 5, 6, 7 years
Well,
to like
especially
actually
a brick and mortar
like,
business like that.
establish.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was a struggle, but like we kept the doors open. Things honestly, like maybe like a year ago, just started going back to like normal.
Yeah.
Because like
Oh,
food
damn.
costs is still super high and shit right now.
Yeah, that's
so.
true too. Does your dad let you make pizza?
Oh, I make the pizzas.
Oh, really?
That's what I do. Yeah, that's how I like help make ends meet. Because obviously, like pizza men are expensive as fuck. So like,
Oh,
if
really?
I can work, yeah, I mean, like most guys ask for like $250 a day. So like, I make $150 a day. Where it's like when the business picks up, then like my pay will go up. So it's gone up a little bit as we started like recovering. But I was working for like free for like 3 months to keep the place open, and then I worked for like $70 a day for like a couple months, and then like as we started making like going back to normal, I started getting a little bit more normal pay. And then as we get busier and busier, I'll make a little bit more. But that's kind of how a family business works as well.
Yeah. So does that mean that you're paying somebody to dye your hair right now, or you're doing that on your own?
We got a hairdresser lady that crush on me that works across the hall. So
That works across the hall?
she owns the place across the hall. Yeah. So
Oh, okay. So you get your hair done for
yeah, I
what?
barter food, man.
Barter food. Good
Absolutely.
call. Good call. How many times has Riley been in this pizza place eating pizza? Don't lie to me. Sal.
0.
You're lying.
Do you think his ass is driving to Tom's River?
Yeah, but that's for a pizza. First of all, I don't. First of all,
I told him I was
don't
at
need
Walmart
pizza.
the other day and he
Pizza's
showed up
so
where he was like an
good.
hour away.
The second thing is, too, trying to get him to show up to Iron Revolution on time. You think he's gonna show up to a pizzeria?
He doesn't show up anywhere on time. He's a
The only reason on time here is he lives here.
Who is you to talk to?
Whoa.
Who is
I
you?
am
We had to
extremely
tell
punctual.
Tim. We had to tell Tim that this was a half hour earlier, so he'd show up on time.
I was the first person here.
He
I
still
was
showed
the
up
first
late.
person here.
Sal is the guest, so we require them. I was the first person here. anyway. So now, what's the goal for Sal? Because obviously, when you came to Riley, you were going to compete, and you look like a fucking dried sack of fucking potatoes. Dried sack? Maybe a wet sack of potatoes. I don't really know what the difference is going to be there. Potatoes have the same weight raw as they do when they're boiled, give or take a couple of grams. So, But anyway, bottom
more you
line
know.
is, we bowed out of the OCB show,
Yeah.
right? How many shows did you do before that? Just OCB,
I
right?
had done one, and then I took 3 months to kind of like try to like get up like my weight a little bit and shit because I was like really scrawny on stage. So I think I took like 3 or 4 months like after like reversing to like I think there was like 8 months in between both shows.
There's 8 months between shows.
Yeah, like I saw like kind of like reversed out.
OCB
went into, like,
doesn't have a
boat.
season. OCB is
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, so then like by the time like I was like in prep for the second show, then the second show like got like pushed back, and that's kind of when we became friends. And then I was like lifting with him one day, and he was like, "Yo, dude, like you just like," he's like, "You have 3 months to your show, like you should not be like
That's a lie.
As
I said,
fucked
Sal,
as
you
you
look
are.
like shit. You need to stop doing this.
Yeah. Well, I remember he told me, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, I'm not sure what to do. I have a couple guys at the gym that want to do an OCB show. They want me to coach them through it, but they just
I
don't
told
look
Riley
like-
if I went to him, I wasn't doing an OCB show.
Yeah.
So
There was another kid that I had that wanted to do an OCB that I pulled him out
That
to.
wasn't John?
That was John.
Yeah, it was.
It was John and Sal. Sal was ready to. Once he came with me, he was like, "I'm done doing the OCB." That's when he wanted.
If I had holes in my socks right now, it'd be really embarrassing. And I was just thinking, like, is there one going on there? Like, when the socks get a little stretched and you can kind
Is
of
there
see
a hole?
through.
There's a hole.
Is there? There is?
Barry said there's a hole. Moving.
No
on.
way.
Chris
there's
says
a hole?
Chris says
Son
there's
of
a
a-
hole.
Can you take your grimy feet?
That's not a
down?
hole. That's just bleached. Is that what we're talking about? What do you think? My foot is that white? What do I look like?
It's
Michael
pretty close,
Jackson? It's the lighting.
Buddy, you're pale. I don't know what you're talking about.
Slow down. Let's get back to the topic at hand, which is Sal's hair. So,
the same as your skin, bleached.
it's hilarious. That was the worst fake laugh I heard in my life. You sound like a witch from Hocus Pocus.
I am a witch from Hocus Pocus.
Listen, Puerto Ricans can't be witches. Wait, so you were on track to do the show. We decided you looked like so there was no show. And then, so now you're working with Riley, and that's when we got the blood work back, though, right? Originally?
And you asked me if he was a 72-year-old man that had 2 heart attacks.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Something along
So,
those lines.
do you care if we talk about your blood work?
Absolutely not. Go ahead.
So, Sal's HSCRP, high sensitivity C-reactive protein, which is an inflammatory marker that could be indicative of future cardiovascular risk, right? Was through the roof. Literally the highest number I think I've ever seen is what I told you guys.
Yes.
Right? I think it was like
was it?
25 or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Which is
extreme.
which is literally like, the scale is legitimately like 1 to under 1 is like semi-normal, right? Like we really would rather see nothing. We'd rather
Yeah.
see it 0,
I don't
which is
register.
relatively common for a guy his age, right? That's healthy and fit, never done drugs. It would be a 0, right? Or maybe like 0.4 or something like that, right? But 1 and under is considered to be average risk, right? Anything over 1 is considered to be a little bit above average risk, and then anything above 3 is considered to be a very high risk for potential cardiovascular issues in the future, right? And Sal was, and this is just off the top of my head, I don't remember, what is f***ing egregious. It was like 25 or something like that. It was like through the f***ing roof, right?
His TSH was also 147.
Yes, and that's the other thing. That's what I was going to go to. His TSH was 147 or whatever the number was. But which again, when your TSH is coming back, I just had a client whose TSH came back at 3.9, and we're really concerned, right? Because it's technically that's within range of a TSH, right? Like a high above 4.5 is considered high, right? But again, for optimal purposes, when we're talking about trying to lose body fat, build muscle, all that bullshit, we want that TSH to be somewhere around like honestly 1.5, 1.9. Maybe 2 or lower, right? And once it gets to 2, we start to talk about, hey, you got to calm down a little bit, like you're doing a little bit too much. Whereas Sal's was almost 150, right? Which is, insane. We told you that. But you also you knew that you had Hashimoto's at that
Well,
point.
at that point, I didn't know I had Hashimoto's. I just knew I had a hypothyroid.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
But I wasn't on medication because at the time my doctor thought you're too young or whatever.
Why
Right, but we got your
Why did you
TPO
think
ABs
that?
done too, right? Your TPO ABs came back through the roof. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's again. Wait, say it again. What were you saying?
I said, why did you think that, or why did you think that you had Hashi's?
No, he
Well,
didn't
so-
think he had Hashimoto's. He thought he had
he didn't.
Hypomoto. We told him he had Hashimoto's
Yeah.
based on the lab work that we ran.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's one of those ones where, again, once your TSH goes up so high, like there's got to be a reason for it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't get that high for no reason. So TPO ABs are antibodies that your immune system is essentially producing that's attacking your thyroid gland, right? And basically sending it into overdrive, right? So eventually, just especially at that level, it's just going to continue to break down that thyroid gland plate, and it's not going to happen overnight. Especially at your age, it's going to take years for it to happen. But again, sooner or later, you have an autoimmune condition that's not curable. You know what I mean? Now, was there anything previous though that you think like maybe it was soccer, maybe it was something? How long ago did you go to the doctor for the thyroid issue in general to know that you're hypothyroid?
I found out I was hypothyroid. I think it was like halfway through my freshman year of college is when I first found out because.
Did you tell your prep coach that when you did prep?
Yeah, I told him I was hypo, but I wasn't on medication. I wasn't prescribed any medication through my doctor, and I never was super when I got blood work and went back to my doctor. If he was your blood looks fine, I would just all right, my blood looks fine. I never actually looked at it I never knew it was a LabCorp app until Riley told me.
Yeah.
So it was like I was never like super like conscious of my like.
Most people
health.
wouldn't. Like if you go to the
Yeah.
doctor, the doctor tells you like, "Hey, you're hypothyroid." Like I don't think a lot of people that are
Yeah.
freshmen in college like have any idea what the fuck that even means when it comes down to
Exactly.
it.
So I
you
had
know?
no idea. So like he had put me on medication for like.
Oh, he did the doc.
So when Sal first started with me, he had like, I don't know, it had to be like 800, 900 followers. He had like nothing. And then when he first started with me, that's when he started posting again and really trying to increase his Instagram. And he had that one viral video of like the, what's the captions, the toxic
Yeah, I
captions?
had posted like a toxic captions like video on Instagram for like gym pictures as a
remember
joke
those.
for
Yeah.
like my friends, and then like.
Where'd you get that idea though? You got that idea from somewhere. What was that, Christopher?
I said I saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Explore page, bro. That was
I
fire.
didn't even.
You-
I
You
just
broke-
thought of it
you
myself
broke
one
the
day. I
third
said it
wall,
to Riley.
and you did it yourself. Nobody actually like included you in it. I find that very unprofessional.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying.
He dropped
I'm
his
just saying.
face.
For what?
And I find out very, and he goes,
It was really serious, man.
You would have liked it too. Good fucking post.
I mean, I don't think I saw the first one.
liked it.
I've seen it multiple times. You've done multiple
I
variations
did, like,
thereafter.
multiple of them.
But where'd you get that idea from?
I kind of just like said to Riley, I thought it'd be funny because like I used to always just like.
You came up with that idea all by yourself? You didn't steal it
I
from
mean, I'm
somebody
sure
else's
somebody
TikTok
else did
page?
it, but I never like saw it before. Like even if you look up, like if you Google like toxic captions for gym pictures, like it's all my videos that come up.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
also, how long has TikTok been out for?
Yeah, I don't even really use TikTok like that much like anymore.
I just found out
It was
what
like
TikTok
Instagram.
is.
I
I don't even think I
posted it.
had TikTok yet when I started training with him and he posted that video.
But that wasn't on TikTok. It was on Instagram.
was on
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. He didn't see it off any TikTok or anything like that.
Yeah, I actually hadn't
Not
seen
that
it.
I
Like
know
some
of.
people are doing it, but like I hadn't seen one, and I was kind of like, oh, I think this would be funny because like I always like tried to be like, clever with my captions, like when I post a picture on Instagram, and I like posted one, and
What's
I was like,
viral? How many things did it get? Like how many likes or whatever?
over 1 million views.
Really?
Yeah, 60,000 likes or something like that.
that's crazy.
Yeah, but it was like
my
I went to
comment-
sleep.
So,
My comment on this picture had like over 1,000 likes. My comment.
Like I like went to sleep, it had like 3,000 views, and I was like, oh, that video did kind of good. And then like I woke up and it had like 100,000, and I was like, holy shit.
I'm curious, when that happens, honestly, has nobody else been curious? Like your phone's just going off the entire time?
you
Or
don't have
like,
notifications on. Don't even act
I
like
don't
you
have
do.
notifications
Yeah,
on.
exactly. So like,
Yeah, they kind of
Okay,
just
most
like.
people do.
oh,
Yeah,
for
from
him.
him.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
that would be
have
horrible.
notifications.
Yeah, my notifications are like I kind of just like mute them now.
But at that time, was it just like bling, 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 bling?
Yeah,
bling?
like I was asleep and my phone was buzzing. I was like, "What the f?" And then like
That's crazy.
I looked and it was
So
all from
was that your
Instagram.
So
First-
it was just like,
They kind of come in like it'll like when you get to like a
They'll do,
certain
like,
amount of
20
likes,
at a
it'll be
time
like
or whatever.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be like oh like this many people have liked your post. This many people have liked your post.
Right.
Like it
Gotcha.
won't like notify you every single like.
Yeah. That's
Like but the
crazy.
comments usually came through every single one. And I would a ton of them too on those.
I feel like that's kind of unfair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm only going to get one of these in my lifetime, and you're going to take this away from me by grouping 20 people in together. Like, do your job, TikTok. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
One at a time.
actually every
Ding
single
me.
one I posted got over 100,000 views.
Every what?
Every single
Yourself,
posted.
Sal.
That's crazy.
You know, who do you think
Well,
you
once
are?
you do it
All
once.
this
So was that your
Every
first
single
thing to
one
go
I posted.
viral?
Yeah, and then I
And
started
then
doing
did you
the,
get a lot of like gym people following you?
Yeah, like a lot, and then like I started like doing them like incorporating like funny ones that I saw in my comments.
How many followers did you get off of that? Do you know? That first one?
I woke up the next morning with 2,000 more followers than I had the day before.
Really?
Yeah, and then I posted the next one and gained 6,000 from that post.
You know how people talk about, like, you know, when you get a pro card, like nothing changes the next day, like like nobody's coming to like knock on your door or whatever. Like, I always imagine like what happens when you go viral. You know what I mean? Like, what happens when one post goes viral? Like, is somebody knocking on your door the next day?
Yes,
Do people
yeah.
call you and they're like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" Like,
Yeah, do
we
people
want to
like
copyright your
were
post.
people DMing you like asking you for advice? Because I feel like people are so stupid and will just like, oh, this guy is just like posting
Well, he
videos.
also
Now I'm
only
gonna
had-
ask him a question for my diet.
Well, he also only had 3,000.
I do get a lot of like
You know what
DMs
I'm
like
saying?
that, like now. Like
Yeah.
I'll get people DMing me. Like I've had like multiple people.
And you're
I
like,
just send
hey,
them
I'm
like
just silly.
I just send them Riley's Instagram
There you go.
because like they'll like DM me for coaching, and I was like, dude, I'm not qualified
So
for
that's
that.
literally the only reason why Riley had so many clients.
I think I'm a big part of like him actually having friends.
Oh, I know you were part of it for sure.
Because he had no friends at Iron
He
until
also
he
had
met
no
me.
clients until he met you.
You're welcome. I'm still waiting on my check for my cup, but that's all right.
No, I will say when I first started going to Iron, I knew no. I would go in with a hat on and a hood, and I just did not talk to a single soul. And that's when my workouts were actually good.
What
And
made
now,
you actually
not
go
so
up
much.
to this kid?
I never went up to him. He
I-
came up
I
to me
would've heard.
first,
Oh,
and he
really?
asked me what I was on
I'll look
because I
anyway,
was like
that's
4
okay.
weeks out from like the show that I had
You
done.
just walked up to him and you're like, "What's up, dude? What do you want?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, like point blank.
That
what
was
you
the
use it.
first.
Okay.
Really?
And
Yeah, I
I
guess
said-
you did come up to me too in the gym, huh?
I approached you right away, and I was like, "Yo, I'm
It
looking for a
wasn't right
coach.
away.
What are you doing?" It was not right away. You were two workouts in.
Did you really just walk up to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Straight
on
up to
hack
him.
squat.
Made him take his
He was
headphones
on. He was on the pendulum
Wait,
squat.
but you're like
woke up
that?
and said that.
You just like walk up to people?
Walk up to anybody.
I don't even remember what
Once
he said.
they
to me.
work-
He
I was
definitely
half
walked
his
up to
size.
me
Was
like
he
me.
scared
That's
of me?
so weird.
Yeah.
I was
No,
half
not
his
even
size.
that. I just wouldn't picture you as like a person that would like like.
I'm very outgoing. I talk to
What?
See, he calls it outgoing. I call it.
Yeah, I don't know.
what
You
you
can bleep
want.
that one out.
It is what it is. You can call it what you want, but yeah, I'll go up to anybody in the gym. I don't care, like whatever the case may be. When I first started lifting ever, when I first got in the gym when I was like 16 years old, I would just ask the biggest dude or someone decently sized, like, yo, I'm trying to do this. Like, what should I do?
I could
in order
definitely
to
That's
see
so
being that
cute.
guy. I could definitely see being
That's
that
so
guy.
cute.
I was
100%.
16 years old and I had no idea what the was going on. I was
Not
doing
me.
arms 4 days a week. I don't know what I was doing.
Not me.
That's the reason why I don't let you do
He
arms
still
now.
does arms every night.
I know, I bet. And there's no arms on his plan. That's the crazy thing.
Does them every night, but not at the gym.
I have one
Yeah.
bicep exercise, that's it.
Just the right arm too.
Yeah.
I have one
Shut
bicep a month. Is when
There's
we
a
do
dog
demo
now. He
videos.
puts peanut butter all over. What's the dog's name?
Benny.
I thought it was SallyT.
SallyT is a dog.
Makes
It's not
sense.
mine.
Shit. Can we turn the lights down and get a little bit of glare?
That wasn't funny. I didn't even get it. It took me a whole minute.
Oh god.
First and foremost, my hair is done nicely. Again, I think we shouted out Roman last time, but the video didn't go up because Chris was in it. So this time, shout out to Roman.
Yeah.
He's a barber.
Shout out to Eric Lamb. My barber Chris is actually going to see
about-
him next week.
Talk about, I
did so
made
good.
fun of
Tim?
Chris's haircut, calling him but
So I had a new client call today, and she mentioned that one of the first videos that she saw of us on social media because she found
don't
us on
say
social.
it. Don't say it.
It
Don't
was
say it.
it was
I need-
you.
I need to know.
And I was like, oh yeah, Tim. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know if he's bald.
No.
And I was
You
like,
know what?
I was like, I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Scrap the second video too. We're not posting this one on YouTube. God.
I was dying to myself. Anyways,
Who was
new
that?
client.
Sal
Who was
hasn't
that?
got a haircut.
Oh, Joanne?
4 years.
Joanne? The last one?
No, Kiara. Kiara?
If you keep her on the team, you're fired.
Of course I will. Of course I will.
Going viral. Going viral. Do you think I could do it with no hair?
Yeah, probably. Just wear the hat.
Seriously, do you feel like it's for somebody to go viral? I feel like it's almost like at this point, like you kind of have to do something stupid. Like when was the last time you saw like an actual
or unique
not,
and, like,
not stupid? Like
original.
honestly, I
No, but
wasn't
the
even
thing is,
trying
I
to be.
them because I felt like they were stupid because it's one of those things where it's like it was it's kind of like what we were talking about
Well, it's
TikTok
funny.
earlier.
I wouldn't say it's
funny, but it's
stupid.
adding no value to anybody's life.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
but, like, I've had hundreds.
that's value.
I've had
That's
hundreds.
true.
I've had hundreds
You know,
of people
laughing
tag
is
me.
value.
Like I've had like hundreds of people tag me and like their like gym pictures, like using my
With the captions? Oh.
Yeah, like using one
But,
of the
like,
captions that were in the video.
seriously.
And they've
Like
But
that.
are they being
posted a picture.
serious?
So that's value.
I guess, but like, it wasn't kind of like what I want. It wasn't kind of like what I wanted to be like known for. Because like,
Yeah.
it kind of got to the point where if I posted anything else, they were like, "When's the next Toxic Captions video coming out?"
No
and I was
way.
like, "Oh, like, never."
Oh god.
Did you ever have like a thought process of like trying to monetize it? Have you ever monetized it in any way?
So Instagram's like weird with monetization. So they were giving me, like I was monetized for 3 months and I made like $700, and then they took it away and I
you
never
made
got it back.
$700 in 3 months.
Yeah,
That's not fair.
but then like they took it away. Like
You could probably
They
make
took
more
away your
money
money?
making pizzas. How?
no, they just took away like
the
me being able to
monetization.
monetization.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how were they monetizing? Was it based off views, likes?
Based off of views and like quality of views. So it's like how long someone watched your video, like if they liked it, if they commented, like they were worth a little bit different.
Mine was monetized for a while. I had 4 months worth. I made $100 a month.
Really?
Yeah.
On
And it
Instagram?
went right into my account.
Yeah, mine did too. No, I got the money, but like I can't
How the
monetize
did you get
anymore.
monetized? How many followers do you have?
7,000.
It doesn't matter. There's people with like 2,000 that got monetized.
why?
It was like
Why?
they were
How does that
testing it out.
happen?
They're
I
trying to
told
compete
you.
with TikTok.
I told you this a while ago.
They just want to keep people on the app. That's it.
It was a beta. It was a trial that they gave a certain amount of people. Like I was talking to multiple people that was like, yeah, I monetized my Instagram, and they're like, how? You'd go to the same setting on their phone. I would have the setting, and they wouldn't have the setting. It was only a certain.
So it's just a
people.
random thing.
It was just random.
Yeah, like I had the same
crazy.
trial that Riley had. I made like $40, where he made more,
Mm-hmm.
and then like, but all my videos did really well. They only paid me $40 when it said I was supposed to get like 100 something. I got $40 out of it, and then like I wasn't able to monetize for like 4 or 5 months, and like they offered it to me again one day, and I was like, all right, and then I made like $700 over like 3 months.
Well, realistically, I wouldn't expect anybody to make big money off of any platform like that. You know what I mean?
You make it through like
Yeah,
brand
you're,
deals,
that's what I'm
endorsements.
saying.
Yeah.
Did you ever think like, hey, maybe I should be doing something different to try to monetize or capitalize, maybe better verbiage, on the amount of new followers that I got. Let's put it this way: I would honestly think that, like, if realistically, like, you guys can back me up on this, like, if we had on the Every Calorie Counts Instagram, if we, like, you see everybody that comes through there, like, you've seen it now with the leads like that. Like, at the end of the day, is it enough to be like $1 million business? Not with 5,000, followers, but I guarantee if we had 20,000 followers, we probably would be making somewhere like, like, I don't know, maybe $500,000 a year, a little bit more than $500,000 a year. I think would be legitimately realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys would be, like, you guys have the same amount of clients that I would have. Like, that would be, you know what I mean? Like, we would legitimately be making over $500,000 a year based on that. And that's just thinking, like, hey, here's 5,000 followers, what we do with 5,000 followers, right? And then times that by whatever, as far as 25,000 followers is concerned, right? Like, that would only make sense. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
just
100%.
No, I
logically
agree.
playing that out.
Yeah.
So it's like, did you ever, and
Because
obviously
it
for us
would be
as
the
coaching,
same like flow of like inquiries and like the same flow of signing people up.
even
and
if
whatever.
it's not to
Which
the
would be
same
more.
extent, like, at the end of the day, if you think about, again, where I'm at versus where you guys are at now, logically speaking, right?
Yeah.
Like, you guys we wouldn't even need that amount for you guys to make as much as I make, and then that right there is over that
Yeah.
number, right? So we could probably, honestly, at 25,000 followers, like, it wouldn't be unrealistic to say, just based off of what we do now, getting closer to $1 million a year, right? Just
Yeah.
based off the three of us. But then again, if we had that many followers, like, think about what else we could do. Like, the thing is with, like, shirts and stuff like that, like clothing, which is what I would, but the bottom line is, like, even that type of stuff, like, right now, we would do just well enough if we when we run a line of shirts or whatever, that we don't lose money, right? Or maybe we lose a little bit of money, you know what I mean? Like, if we had 25,000 followers, we probably actually, because again, the amount of clientele that we would have then, like, we probably end up being able to turn profits off of like that, training plans, blah, 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 all that different. At no point did it cross your mind to, like, do something else, shirts, training plans, something, maybe not coaching, but whatever, something.
I did kind of want to do like merch, but the only issue is, like, I feel like for like a merch drop to like be successful, I guess is the best way to put it, is like there has to be like some kind of like attachment. So that's kind of what we were talking about, like Veronica, shout out Veronica, where like we said, like, she has certain followers, it's like a cult, you know what I'm saying? Where like those are the kind of people where if she dropped merch, I guarantee she has 40,000
Like,
followers, I guarantee at
half
least
of them are
10%
buying.
of them are buying.
You
know
think?
what I'm saying?
I think like half of them. Are you
But
kidding me?
you gotta think when you're
Realistically,
10% is a good number for a broad audience like that.
Yeah,
That's
like,
true.
honestly, take
Especially on social
400,
media.
times it by whatever, $35 that you're going to charge for a shirt or whatever. Like, you're not doing bad. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. So like she
Chris,
has.
what's 400 times 35?
Well, a little over 12 grand.
Look at you son of a bitch, you, huh? You did that in your head?
I did.
And this guy has
Quick
had
maths.
tons of Zimbabwe's today. He ran out of Zimbabwe's, by the way, before he showed up. He did use them all. So you didn't feel like you had, like, you don't have like that one guy or whatever, not one guy, but you don't have like that group of people that are constantly DMing you or whatever.
Oh, no,
that
I
you
do.
only know from Instagram.
I do, but I also think like from my eyes, I was like, I wanted. That's kind of why I stopped posting like toxic captions. I was doing like the how to upgrade your gym stories and stuff like that. I was doing stuff like that. I kind of stopped
Those are
doing
pretty
that.
good too, though.
Those
see
at least
those.
I enjoyed making because at least they like added value. Where it's okay, like someone could like take something that I posted, they're like, oh, that's sick, and they can like make their own.
Well, see, that eventually too, like, you could do like an ebook on that. And as much as that
Exactly.
seems stupid, like, sell
Yeah.
that ebook for $4.99, who cares? Like, what's it gonna do? Take you a few hours to put together? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you already make it, and then and at the end of the day, even if you did that up front, let's say you're in your mind, you're like, hey, I'm gonna make these kind of posts now, right? And then like you just lay that out, like, on paper in terms of what that plan is for each one of those posts for the next, whatever, 15 posts. And it's like, now you have something where you're actually going to use that. You're going to use those posts as content, but now you can also turn around and sell those. If they're granted, they're sitting on your, but again, sell them for $4.99. At the end of the day, even if you have 10% of your followers, like, if it's only $200 or whatever, who cares? It's extra money in your pocket instead of just making posts for no reason. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or for likes, right?
But that's kind of why I was like, I've kind of like stepped back a little bit. One, because obviously I haven't had like someone there to film me, so it's like kind of like getting to post is
Be
hard.
honest, you got and you decided to, like, you're
No,
like,
because
oh,
I
dude,
recently I fell off Instagram probably 3
fell
months
off
ago.
Instagram well
Yeah.
before that because he does my Instagram and he fell off my Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
but
Instagram really sucks.
I know.
Yeah, but his sucks because
It always sucks,
he gets
yeah.
a cameraman
He's
for
the thinks
2
that, like,
weeks and
I'm
he's like,
gonna
oh,
post
dude, you haven't
this-
posted nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this picture of myself, and everybody's gonna love it. That's what,
Everybody loves it.
But what?
Everybody loves it.
Yeah,
I got
He's
all
been
my-
sending me
all my
stuff for like
fans.
3
All
weeks.
fans.
Before that, it's been like,
All my fans. Well, my man's Barry's gonna be with me in the gym now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Wait, you were at Iron for this full day in the life video that they did? Riley did a full day in the life, day in the life.
Day
day in the life.
Day in the life video yesterday with Christopher and Barry, I guess.
Yeah, I came at the end when.
He just came for the gym.
Oh, I thought that was the mayor of Iron.
No, that's Aton. Shout out Aton.
I thought that was Aton.
Shout out Aton.
Shout out
Cool,
Aton.
but it was you.
No, it was Barry.
That's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah.
Barry. It wasn't Aton.
And he took amazing pictures
Barry.
that Sal's gonna post.
Why, Chris couldn't handle himself?
Nah, he can. He can. He was doing the video.
No, Chris's arm
arm was
texted
getting
you.
tired. He kept
Please
looking on
come.
the
I'm
camera.
scared.
Like, does he feed you after these things or something like that? There's got to be like some sort of relationship going on.
Yeah, he's got enough fucking bites in that freezer.
I would hope so. You're paying him, huh?
Generously, yes.
I would hope so. Yeah.
I need them.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. As long as our price doesn't go up.
The price of bison is about to go up from that video, probably.
Price
Yeah,
of bison,
Yeah, you seen that picture?
Yeah, but what drove
Never
you to buy
had
that much
bison.
bison?
Yeah.
Now we got fucking like. Did you guys see this?
I just want to
video
let you know
yet?
he's eating
Well,
bison
okay.
because of me, though.
No, so you have in
Just
my
calm
plan,
down there, Sally. Okay.
in my plan it's a 90-10 ground beef. Bison's 90-10.
Yeah. 100% viable option.
ShopRite doesn't always carry it all the time. So when they do have
So he
it,
said, "Let me clean them out."
I clean them out every time I go. They had 12 pounds, so what did I get?
Where are we? Middletown, and you go over
That's
this one.
crazy.
Yeah.
Middletown ShopRite's
I
the
wanna
only
try
one that
bison.
I've ever seen that has it. So
I get it from I get it from the Hazel one. I get it from the Metal one.
I've been, but regardless, they don't always have it just because I guess it's harder for them to have. So when they have it, I just
guys
buy
like
it
you.
out and freeze it. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
if you need bison, I got it.
How much money did you spend on bison?
Bison boys.
It's $10 a pound.
Did when you went to bed that night, were you like, I
That's
shouldn't
not
have spent
bad.
that much money?
No,
Wait, how many pounds did you buy?
12.
You actually bought 12 pounds.
Yeah.
That was in the picture. Yeah.
And you bought how much
Did
money
I
did you
not
spend on
buy 12?
groceries, Chris?
$215 total.
Oh, that's not that
No, that's
bad.
not bad.
Okay.
It's cheap.
Yeah, fair
Every
enough.
time I
You should
step
take
foot out of my house, it's
Christine shopping.
$100.
It's like an easy
It's just
$350,
You have 3
$400 bill.
kids.
First and foremost, there's 2 kids
Here
that
it
are there
goes. Did you
Friday,
see a story
Saturday,
the other day?
Sunday. Okay, and then they're Monday,
still need for them.
Thursday. Yeah, some, and then I gotta go to McDonald's every weekend. I gotta take them out for steaks and spend $250 on a dinner. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I give them food all the time. We don't need to be like spending $400 on groceries. There's 3
subject.
human beings in the house
Touchy subject.
most of the time. 3 human beings in the house.
Well,
You
it's
also
like,
have
it's like, it's
17
like
dogs.
2.5.
$400 on groceries. What the fuck, man? What do I look like? Huh? You know how many white wine vinegars we got at the house? For fuck's sake. Seriously.
Shout out Christine.
Oh my god.
I really want to put my feet up so desperately bad.
Wait.
I got yelled at. You guys are going to see the beginning of the podcast is going to have my feet up, and then the second part isn't. And I got to pay Chris, but I can't have my feet up. Anyway.
Correct.
So,
Are
do
we
you have any
breaking?
kids that you don't know about?
Are we breaking?
If I don't know about them, I don't have them.
We got to break.
breaking.
We're going to be back. We're going to be back. So, back to SallyT a little bit here, right? Let's not let Riley and his bison steal the show here.
Yeah.
You said bison or biceps?
Or
Bison.
Ego.
I like where you
Bison.
went there, though. I can respect that. I like how you twisted it there. Anyway.
Thank you.
So is there any plan for you going forward as far as this kind of like capitalization on this situation for you?
I mean, it's hard because I also am trying not to let social media become like a distraction from training. Which if you don't have someone filming you,
Sal, you're not training right
it's
now.
hard.
You're not training right now.
It's
He has
like,
something to say.
but it is one of those things where it's hard.
Seriously,
If you're,
not even trying to be a right? And I know I just cut you off like a but not even trying to be a here. I'm dead serious. Like at the end of the day, you're 28 years old, right?
Yeah.
You're no feet. Lost my train of thought.
At 28
28 years old.
I feel like my knee, if it doesn't extend right now, there's going to be a serious, like my brain is going to explode. But so if you're 28 years old, you're training, and you want to take that seriously, honestly, how far do you see that going?
I mean, obviously, I want to try to at least do well in amateur shows. You know what I'm saying? If I could qualify, that's obviously probably where I'm thinking is a realistic goal to have for how old I am and how much time I have. So that's kind of what I want to do. So I do still want to compete.
I would say it's not how old you are. It's
Yeah, I was gonna say,
realistically
28
where your
is-
genetics are at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And what kind of results you're capable of getting, regardless of where you're willing to go with it. You know what I mean? So let's just say you're able to get you win your class at an amateur level show, which I don't think is unreasonable by any stretch of imagination,
Yeah.
right? And let's say now you're nationally qualified, right? Which again, I would say national qualification is a relatively it's a relatively easy thing to do given today's landscape within amateur bodybuilding, right? Like there are multiple shows to choose from, and there's just not this dearth of like, there's not a whole like huge talent load coming in, right? So like, especially if you pick like the right division to be in, right? Like you could get nationally qualified. So let's just say you get nationally qualified, right? Well, let's say you have a conversation with Riley, and he's like, "Dude, you're not ready for a national level show, right?" And I'm just painting this picture. I'm not trying to like put you down anything like that. I'm sincerely not doing that, right? I'm just saying like, let's say that ends up being something where you realize like, hey, you're not ready for a national level show, right? I need another 5 years. Right, to be able to get ready for a national level stage, to even hop on that stage and feel really good about what I've been able to put up there, right? Yeah. Like, is that something where it's like, okay, I'll work until I'm 34 years old to be able to acquire this goal, but like even then, what's it worth? Like, what's the value of that, right? That's A. And then B, should that be put ahead of trying to capitalize on where you're at right now? Because at the end of the day, what I would tell you is, dude, if you were able to get, whether it's lucky, whether it's based off of some like thing that maybe you find trivial now as far as captions are concerned, like toxic captions, who cares? At the end of the day, if it's there, if it's in your hand, and there is an opportunity to capitalize on it and make some money on that, why not go after that? I suppose is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like one of those things where, like, I want to compete, and then obviously taking it as far as I possibly can with where I'm at. I think it's more like the competing is more like giving me structure, because like playing sports my entire life, like I needed something to like give me structure, because if not, like I was going off the deep end. So it was like one of the other. So that's kind of like what got me into competing in the first place, was like I needed something to like structure my life down again, because like I was so regimented with like playing sports my whole life, where it was okay, like you went to school, you went to practice, you did this, you went and trained on your own, you went and did this, you went and practiced. Like, so it was kind of like I needed something to like keep me in that sort of routine. So I think that's kind of why I like gravitated towards like the gym and everything in general. I think just like social media in general like is one of those things where a number of followers doesn't really necessarily mean that like you like putting something out gets received well. And that's kind of like where like I've been trying to like think of ways to like gain a following of people who like connect with me, rather than like, connect with like a video that I posted where they hit a follow button. Because realistically, like if someone follows you, it's probably because they've seen 1 or 2 videos that were similar, that they're like, oh, those are kind of funny, or those are kind of this, but like they're not actually connecting with you as a person. So like,
and
a
not
perfect example is like me being, I was with like I'm technically still with Astroflave, but like haven't really been posting about it. But like with Astroflave, my code sales were like absolutely horrible, like worse than like people that have 2,000 followers. But it's because they're 2,000 of their best friends. And
How many times is your code being used per month? Like realistically?
I'll be honest with you, like in the past like 6, 0.
Yeah.
And like
but I would say
when I was posting consistently like 3-4 stories a day, giving them a post every week, like I think I got to use 3 times total, and one of them was my friend.
But you know that's normal though, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's
No,
not,
yeah, 100%.
that's
But
normal.
it's because it's quality of followers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I like appreciate everybody who hit the follow button, but like unfortunately like followers coming from videos that like I deem as like trivial, you know, like it's because they're not actually connecting with you as a person.
And
so they're not like, oh, I'm going to support you.
Right.
It's like, because that's essentially, if you have a code, it's someone saying, hey, listen, I'm going to use your code instead of somebody else's because I want to support you personally.
Yeah. So why? Go ahead, Marina. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say that's probably why also Veronica, we were just talking about her, gets so many sales, is because she is so
Does she get a lot of sales though?
personable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where?
Like
She's
for,
with
I
HD,
think,
I believe.
and
She's with
Civil.
Aries as well.
She's a
Civil,
huge-
She doesn't
HD.
do
I
anything
think
through
Civil-
Aries.
She
No,
has
but
a
she's
code.
She has a code
she's
for
with
them.
HD though.
She doesn't do anything through Aries.
No, I'm not saying
No,
she does.
yeah.
Civil is her.
She
Civil
doesn't
Regine is her
because
number
she's
one.
with HD Muscle, I believe.
Yeah, like she plugs HD
Yeah.
muscle a lot.
I don't even know if she's still with Aries. I don't know, but what I'm saying
might
is
not
that
be
like
still in the
she's
chat.
so personable. She's always like talking and posting. Like as much as I sit here and like I think it's cheesy and corny when people post these long ass captions in all their posts, like people receive that well, like because
Exactly.
then they're gonna
Has she ever
go
posted
use
anything
your
about
code.
the amount of sales that she does do? No offense, Veronica. I'm not trying to hate on you either. I'm just saying I think that's one of those things where like when you start to gauge it off of that, I think 99.9% of people on Instagram that have codes, I mean this is here, at least being realistic, probably 95% of people on Instagram that have codes, their codes don't get used for all like nothing.
Well, that's because companies nowadays. I mean, the thing is, you throw in at a wall, something's gonna stick, right? So companies will literally just give anybody and their mother a code, like
Of course.
And that's
what I'm saying. There's no barrier to entry. So there's so many different codes out there. But like realistically, every athlete on our team has a code for like Raw or like this stupid brand and that stupid brand because they love Chris Bumstead, but then their code's never been used by more than themselves.
Exactly.
Right? And I'm passionate about this because we actually do really well. Like we are the top code used at Aries Nutrition.
Always.
Literally never, ever since we started have we not been. Well, 1 month. 1 month we got beat.
We're
1
not gonna
month.
talk
And I almost committed
Don't
crimes.
talk about it. You're fine.
Yeah, 1 month out of 2 years. Right? He never came close to us again.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is never close. Not even close.
It
Legitimately.
was just. I think it was just the first month that he was on the team.
Yeah, I think he went.
They were like, "Oh, let's support."
The guy also
doors.
owns gyms,
Yeah.
so I think he went into his gyms and were like, "I'll give you a month off of your membership if you spend this money and you
He
buy a
bribed
creatine
them.
monohydrate." Yeah, 100% private. Either that or he took somebody's kid somewhere. But the bot would have given it back. You tell that I didn't want that to go somewhere.
Held him for ransom?
What?
Held him for ransom?
Held him for ransom. How many creatines can you buy this week? But no, I mean I'm serious. And at the end of the day, it's not like we get a whole bunch of people using our code from. You know, we do it from a business standpoint because it supports our clientele in terms of things that they actually need. We're also pretty like the one thing I tell people when they come on is like we don't put random on your plan. Like I'm not going to make you buy a vitamin C to buy a vitamin C, right?
Yeah.
But there's also other really well-known coaches that also have Aries codes that don't come anywhere near us. So it's one of those things that I hold it, pretty in high regard in terms of something that we do. But it's like I've seen it so many times with different companies, the companies that I've worked with in the past, where it's like we bring this person on that has 1 million followers. Literally, I can remember somebody definitively that had all of these different demands, right? Where it was like, we had an X amount of food. It was a meal prep company that I worked for, right?
Yeah.
We had X amount of food that we would give to these individuals, right? And it was like a standard package. She was like, well, I need triple that. It was literally triple. And then she wanted food that was shipped to the West Coast to her California home and then to her Long Island house, right? So it was like this the shipping literally to California was like $150 or something like that. It was insane, right? So it was like, just this huge, her code, I swear to God, never, ever, ever, ever got used. We kept her on for like 3 straight months, and we were paying this chick on a monthly basis, right? It had monthly salary. Never, ever, ever once did her code get used. Never once. Meanwhile, we had a chick that lived in fucking Hoboken, New Jersey. That was just some random. I forget her name. I still follow her, but like she doesn't even post anymore, right? She had like 15,000 followers, but all of her followers, to your point, they really they were followers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they cared about her, what she was doing. Yeah, and it was this crazy thing where every month this chick would be the #1 code used by far. She'd have 50 code used, 60 code used, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, we have all these other big time influencers, right? Where they didn't do. We had some of the top, like some of the few of the biggest bodybuilders that ever, that have been in New Jersey since we've been alive, that may or may not have won Mr. Olympias within certain bodybuilding divisions. Codes never used.
Yeah.
Codes never ever used. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like I don't think you should grade yourself on that. But like, then why? If you know this, where it's like hey, I don't feel like my people resonate highly enough with me to support me on this level. What in your mind do you have to do from a content standpoint to be able to get them to buy in? Like you just said, they don't resonate with you as a person. Why have you never posted anything about the pizza shop really? Because it doesn't do well.
The thing is, unfortunately, with all social medias, there's like an algorithm they have to follow. So it's like there's only so far out of a realm that you're trying to be in that you could kind of post where it's gonna be pushed out. So it's like if you post,
That makes
perfect
sense.
example is have you ever who Goob is?
Yeah.
So he posts, and he even made a video about it where he's like, I post all these videos on the people that Photoshop themselves.
Yeah.
He's like, and then I'll post a video about my company, and it'll do literally 60,000 views less than what all the rest of them do.
I was talking to actually, what's his name? The guy with the long hair and iron, Greg, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Greg. Shout out, Greg.
Wait, the one with the long
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
love
he has
him.
100,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do I know who he is?
He
has
Probably
hair down to his
extremely
feet.
long hair.
Like,
Yeah.
You probably know.
Wild.
He's
Is
crazy.
it like
He's
well done? Is it like
Filipino,
your hair?
no, it's nice hair.
G-Bat, yeah, what is it? G-Bat?
G-Bat Fit.
G-Bat Fit.
Yeah.
Shout out, Greg.
Yeah, Greg's cool.
So anyway, he has
I don't know if we have to shout him out every time we say people's names.
I just said, shout out, everybody.
Shout out, Greg.
Thank you. Anyway, he has 100,000 followers on Instagram. I was actually talking to him today because I lifted in the morning.
Isn't that crazy?
That hair is wild.
And it's nice.
He said he gets the most DMs about his hair, and hair
It's
care
so
and stuff like that.
nice.
Well, that's also the videos that do the most.
Right? Yeah,
They do as well.
Yeah.
But if you look his page, there's a lot of hair videos because people comment the boy or girl thing,
Wait,
and he
so
responds to a
that's-
comment
so
and
that's-
posts an identical video to one he just posted, just in a different outfit.
Yeah.
And-
Does that annoy you though that like you got a bunch of followers because of like trivial, silly, toxic caption
Well, no,
stuff?
because but the thing is like this. He was able to.
It's like that's what they want.
But I think
That's
for
what the people
him,
want.
like the hair
Wait, yeah,
thing,
how did
though,
we get to
Wait, he has
G-Bat?
290 now.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
so
got
he's
shit
up
on,
there.
yeah.
But I was talking to him today about
Jesus.
social media because I was talking to him that we have a podcast, we just started YouTube, yada yada yada. We were talking about the algorithm and everything like that, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's it's cool. Like he'll post an anime thing because he's a big anime guy, and that'll
Well, I mean-
explode."
He just started watching anime.
Regardless,
Like, realistically.
he's a big anime guy.
Are you a big anime guy?
SallyT is
Yeah.
offended.
Really?
I watch a lot of anime.
I'm gonna go in on you for that in a
What?
minute, but
Are you?
I'm gonna start
I
to
don't
build
get it.
up
We have to
here.
break here.
Go ahead.
So, I was talking to him about the algorithm and all that, and he said,
What is that?
Can you name what anime that is? All right.
Can I say that?
"That's no, you can't." And you can't say that word
Cut it
either.
out.
What? Why?
We're gonna cut
Double
that,
whammy.
Chris.
Animation.
Anyway,
Can I say that?
Probably not.
Why? That's like the. That's
2023,
like.
buddy.
That's the official one.
Yeah.
yeah, but you still can't say that
Why?
because you're
How do you know
negatively
anime isn't-
expressing is.
But there could be in anime. That guy's not on your cell phone.
No.
I'm pretty sure. Go ahead. What were you saying
Also
about
can't
G-Bat?
say that. That if you post outside of your algorithm, like if he doesn't post anime or hair thing, it falls flat.
For the record, there's nothing wrong with a anime character.
Okay.
I feel like that's what's like prejudiced about this. You know what I mean?
Just talking
It's like
about-
you're making it seem like there's something bad. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, we're done with this.
What? We got a minute and 28 seconds left. Hold this, Chris. I want this posted, okay?
No.
Yes, I want
No.
this posted.
Let me zoom in on
Click
this.
it, cancel.
God.
God, we can't.
Wait, you're not gonna zoom on me. I want to ask Sally
Buddy,
some more questions.
this
We got
is-
a minute and 17. I feel like I'm a hard hitter right now, and I got a good one.
Go ahead. Anything
Go ahead.
about that subject?
What were you saying about G-Bat? My bad.
I said it.
No, so what he was saying about Greg is that like if he posts anything outside of something about
and
his hair
anime.
or anime, which is his biggest
Right,
sponsor.
fair. That's where we were
He
going with
falls
this.
full- he falls flat.
The videos
but my
flop.
thing would be, who cares if you already have the followers, right? You already have the followers, and I know what you're saying is, well, not all of those followers, associate with this. But I think isn't that fool's gold to think that like, hey, I have 25,000 followers or 290,000, whatever the number is, and I want to put something out that everybody resonates with. It's not going to happen, right?
Yeah,
So even if you put something out. All right, guys, so check out Aries Nutrition for all the best supplements that money can buy. And don't forget code ECC15 to get a discount on all your goodies. Why not now with 20,000+ followers, right? Try to create something where it's like, okay, I know this is going to resonate with the followers that I have and or get me new followers. And maybe it is how to make the post, the way that you were doing. I thought those posts were really good,
Yeah.
by the way. I don't know how well they did.
No, they all did really well as well.
So something like that maybe, where you start to integrate that shit. So like so in other words, let's say you have the 3 blocks, right? So like this week, and I know you have to post more than that, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this week I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give them 1 video that they really want, and then I'm gonna do 2 videos that I want to support myself.
Yeah.
Right? And have people start to recognize me, and maybe one of it's like a full day in the life as a fucking pizza guy bodybuilder, and then the other one is, a full day of eating or some like that you think is going to have people resonate with you more highly. Or
Yeah.
maybe like a day in the life at the pizza shop, day in the life of a soccer player. You know what I mean? Some like that.
Yeah.
Right? And now you start to integrate that in more, but you're still at the same time, every third post is what you're supposed to be giving them in terms of what they came for. You know what I mean? Like, why not do that? Now they're starting to see who you are. And granted, not every post is gonna pop off that way.
Yeah.
You're still gonna have those posts that pop off. It's just those are the important ones now, right? So maybe you even still do those once every 3 days.
Yeah.
Right? But then within that 3-day block, you're also posting 2 or 3 videos for yourself.
I will say that's a good way to get followers more involved with your life to help you use your code and,
And
stuff
also
like
maybe
that.
more
Yeah.
variety of followers.
Yeah, that too. To see like what Sal does day to day, rather than just this is just toxic captions.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Who
And
you
that's-
are as a person.
Unfortunately, it's just one of those things, like, obviously, like, working a full, like, I work 50, 55 plus hours a week. So it's like filming things throughout the day. So it's like, that's kind of one thing where, like even when Riley says, like, oh, like, you have these followers, I was like, yeah, but I kind of, like, did it by accident. Like, it wasn't like I was like I'm 28, I got $3,000 worth of bills every month. Like, it's like I gotta pay that, and like social media is not doing that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like I gotta like make sure like okay, like I do my job first.
Priority.
Yeah.
So it's like priorities, and like one of those things where it's like if I would have started this when I was 18 and I didn't have any responsibilities, and I was like, all right, like I can just like sit here and carry a camera around with me all day. Then like that was it. But like kind of what I told him, I was like, dude, like I kind of like got followers by accident. like, because I just posted videos that I thought were funny for like my friends.
See, you say that, but I've literally seen people making content out of chopping veggies. Anthony Gonzalez, chopping f***ing zucchini up at Coronados.
What do you mean? But
Shout out
that's
Anthony.
just him taking
That's what
a
I'm saying.
video.
That's my point.
It's not content. I
Shout
don't think
out Riley.
I don't think anyone's like
I was mesmerized by it. Absolutely mesmerized. And he posts it all the time.
He does post that
it
a lot.
was
I see it a
sometimes
lot.
satisfying.
A lot.
but-
And he's chopping up the zucchini specifically. Like he gets at that. You're a whiz at that, Anthony. And I'm actually fearful for him because he's a very big pothead and he's always smoking. And like you're gonna
Yeah,
take
he's
off your
always
finger,
high.
dude. Like slow down, all right, and make sure that you put some sort of like rubber guard on your finger or something like that.
You could do a video of you making pizza.
I
Yeah.
could.
I
Yeah.
see. I
Just
sent
set
it
up
to
the
you.
camera, even though it's probably
Well,
awkward.
The Domino's guys that make the pizza, and I was like, "Is this you?"
Yeah, like
You're
forget
like, no,
about
I'm
The thing
better.
is, like, it's one of those things where it's like, the biggest thing for like social media though is like if you have a page, it has to kind of be dedicated towards like things that are similar to what you're posting.
See, you
Because
say
if
that
just
like
throw
it's some
random
sort of a
things out-
law. You say
Well,
that like
no,
it's
it's
some
not.
sort
But
of law.
unfortunately,
how the
Instagram's
algorithm works.
Instagram's not
When was
like
the last time you
a
did that, though?
democracy.
When was the last
You know what
time-
I'm saying? It's a dictatorship. They're like,
Yeah.
listen, if you want to post things about this, keep doing that, or your videos gonna get 400 views.
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of how
true.
it works.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you look at like the pizza guys that blow up, like if I posted pizza videos, I could have 100,000 followers on TikTok right like, in 6 months, guaranteed.
So when you
Like,
post
because it's
pizza
something that I
videos.
do every single day.
But this is
And-
the thing. So why not just bring the tripod with you to work and instead of like being the guy that brings the tripod to the
Do you
gym?
throw it up in the air?
And now
Yeah,
you have people
That's
that
so
But
resonate
if you
with
look,
fun.
like, I posted on my story once because my dad has an Instagram for his pizzeria.
But also say that too, by the way, before I forget. Why not just use the story for your personal situation and then make the post more about that? That's another option. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to go about it. But like for like my dad has the Instagram for the pizzeria. Every video they've ever posted, every post they've ever posted got like 100 views, like something like that. But like there was a video that we made with me in it, and I posted it on my story on my page, and the video got over 10,000 views.
Yeah.
So it's like I can like draw attention to things that I post on my story, and like, but there's like there should be no reason that if I posted a video making me making pizza, it gets 400 views. But then if I put a video of me making pizza from a different account on my story, it gets 10,000 views because
Yeah.
everybody clicked on it from my story. You know what I'm saying? So that's like where it comes where it's like it's determined on like is Instagram going to show your video to an audience when
It's
like
so dumb.
you know what I'm saying? Like Instagram's not going to show a video of me to like making pizzas to an audience that I'm trying to reach.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do
But
with what
are
they'd be
you?
interested
But that's
in.
what I'm saying. I think we're talking about two different things here. I think you're still worried about getting new followership. What about the followers that you already have and kind of like like I said, capitalizing on that, right? Like I'm talking
Yeah.
about if like I said, if we had 20,000+ followers, we would make X amount of money. I'm not talking about you getting 30,000 or 40,000 or continuing to grow it,
Yeah.
right? I'm talking about taking advantage of what you already have. So even if you say, you know what? They're only going to show my people, whatever. I'm only going to get 400 views or whatever on this.
Yeah.
Does that matter when you could be making money off of that 400 views? You know what I'm saying?
That's when I think the engagement comes along, and if you start posting
Engagement,
things
yeah.
out of your algorithm, it stops showing your posts. So, like, if he's
Yeah,
about
that's what they're
fitness,
saying.
toxic captions, stuff like that, and he starts posting pictures, his post won't even go to his current followers, let alone new followers.
Yeah, because like
Really?
they control.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if
Then
you
your
think about it,
engagement
like
goes down
if
and
I
now nobody
didn't
sees
run
it.
Riley's Instagram,
Because-
I would never see one of his posts. His stories never come. If I don't search for his post, if I didn't get notifications, I wouldn't know like that. Like he does this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
I
Sal,
always know because like I see like
correct me if I'm wrong, but like it goes like the algorithm goes by how long someone is stopping on a post, right? So
Yeah,
if like
retention.
if your post is if people are like looking at it, reading it, it's going to continue to be pushed out, right?
So
it's like
Correct.
if I, for example, because I'm into books, if I posted a post about books
Nobody
and
cares
not
about books.
and not about fitness. It's not going to do well because
nobody cares about books.
because no one cares about books. No, none of my followers care about books. How about that?
Exactly.
You know,
Nobody cares about
so I care
well,
about
also
books.
anybody that you don't
I
know
care
you
about
block.
books.
So
And also I block everyone. But
You do have an extensive block list.
yeah, I'm
I
every
blocked
other
you if you started
possible.
posting about books.
Hey, books are so good.
based on Riley trying to reach
Can
out.
we
into-
take-
I couldn't even read the
Yeah,
sponsorship
All,
paragraph.
I,
You
all
can
I
tell
know
he's
is
not
after
first.
that, we just got what's it called? Shadow banned? We're going to get shadow banned now because
Why?
of you.
'Cause
Wait, is
my
that what we're
books?
talking about? Getting shadow banned? That's what that is, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
because
going to get
essentially,
shadow
yeah.
banned because
Books?
Marina's talking about books. Yeah.
Hey, books are
'Cause nobody
popular on
likes books.
TikTok. Okay, my whole For You page is about the books I read. It's so cool.
That's because you're into books.
No, I
But
know.
like I said, so
But-
she's
that's
into
exactly
books.
what he
So
said.
her
Yeah,
For You
exactly.
page is all based on things that she likes to see. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how you like
Like what I
grow,
stop on.
is like posting something and then it's like your video is pushed out to someone because your video is similar to something that they were interested in. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, so it's like, granted, like, you're probably right.
Pain points, Tim, pain points.
Pizzas, if I posted videos of me making pizzas every single day on my account, I can convert my account from a fitness page to a pizza man page, because, like,
you should make it
at some point,
the fit pizza
like,
guy.
Like,
It'll pick
yeah,
up. That's
but
a fine.
unfortunately,
Like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? I don't
unfortunately,
understand.
there's like a health code. So, like, I can't just be sitting there in a stringer throwing pizzas around, which would be, like,
Well,
the best way to gain engagement.
String.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to go there while we're closed.
Said you have to be a stringer.
Definitely go.
If I didn't know, but that's, like, you have to think, because that's be something that someone
What's
sees
the
and
most
they're like, oh,
tested
that's
Sal's
fucking
ever
different.
done?
Or you could do
What's
it
the
like
name?
not
Test
in
I've
the
had you
pizza
on.
place. At home,
400?
take your videos.
400.
What?
I say you put them on 1,000, then put them in a stringer.
A gram
then
of
make 'em flip.
test.
Yeah.
We'll do a
I'm
gram
so
of test,
down.
gram of
Honestly,
trend.
I feel like
I'm so down.
can you do an injection on Instagram? Probably not.
No,
right?
they'll
That's probably-
pull it down.
You can on
Flag.
YouTube.
So I think
How do you think I learned?
Let's do it right now.
we load up 1,000 milligrams in a syringe, which isn't possible. I don't know. That'd be 750 milligrams. But we'll load up to 750, right? You walk into the freezer,
I
you
have
do
5
your
cc
thing, and
syringes.
you. Okay, there you go. We got 5cc syringe. So then, and then you come out, you know, like, and then you flip the pizza around. You know what I mean? I see a banger.
You should do
And
the
then-
flipping the pizza
and then when you
in a
drop it, get
stringer,
super
but
mad.
not in the restaurant.
Yeah, just get flip out when you drop
Yeah.
the pizza.
Have like a
Flip out.
Nazi dough stuff.
I don't know how this establishes any type of like non-trivial content or like valuable content or gets you any money or monetary value out of it. Yeah, I would watch it though.
Yeah, but I feel like it's something that, like,
You should do a TikTok live of you just making a pizza.
no,
I
so that's
guarantee
actually, like,
you,
no, my
people would watch
TikToks
it.
that I did were usually at work. But the hard part is, like, when you work around other people and you got some old Italian guy that works with you that starts talking about robbing a bank. No, he starts talking about he's gonna dig a hole under the pizza oven and go into the bank and rob the vault. And
Yeah,
get
that's good
banned for
content.
3 months.
Oh, you get banned for that?
Yeah, the second you say it, you get flagged if you're on live.
Second, you say what?
Like, so I was standing, I was
Stealing
making
against the
pizza
law.
on live.
Oh, this actually
And-
happened?
Yeah, I lost my entire account for 3 months.
Wait,
Really?
why?
Because he said he was gonna dig under the pizza oven and
Just
go
tell
into
him
the
shut
vault
up or
of
he's
the bank.
fired.
He did get fired anyway, but not
Alright,
for
so then
that.
restart the content.
That's
now.
actually funny,
But, like, yeah.
honestly.
Did he rob the bank?
Because I used to go live every single time. I used to go live like 3-4 hours a day when I was at work.
If he did rob the bank, he's going to get away with it. The guy sounds like he knows what he's doing.
He probably did. We just don't even know.
I was like,
Tunnels
giving him
underground, you're
a
fucking
spoon
good.
and some time. He's gonna take care of the rest. But no. But like TikTok, yeah, lives are hard.
So you're saying that basically you're not, where did you come up with that? Nobody asked you about TikToks or
Well,
lives.
that's what-
That's what I just
Making
took
live.
TikTok
He brought
live
that
of
up.
him doing the pizza.
Oh.
You
I
said
thought
you
But
wanted
you
to
see what I'm saying? Though? Like, look at
zucchini?
so like
He should do a TikTok
something that
live
I'm like
pizza.
passionate about, like passionate about posting would be like fitness. But like, cause of like my lifestyle, they well if you reroute that and do this, it'd be different.
So, yeah, I guess, where were we? Do we remember?
Why not? If he wants,
Exactly
if he wants to
what I
post, he wants to post. He wants to post with the algorithm, but he still wants to do it. But he feels like he's gonna lose followers, but he still wants to do it.
This
Why
man
not
knows what he's
just
talking
do
about.
it?
I have no idea what you just said, but it sounds like he knows what, he's talking
doing?
about.
That's exactly word for word what Tim
Ooh,
said.
I like that.
You like
Yeah.
that? I just came up with this.
Trendsetter right there.
Trendsetter.
Yeah,
So
why don't you
essentially,
do it?
So just do
why,
it, is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
why not?
All-
Why
all
can't-
I like what I'm saying.
All I would say is that this is what I keep coming back to in my mind, right? It's like, so what the are you gonna do with 20,000 followers? You're just gonna like be like, man, I can't do anything with it because the algorithm says no.
I think it's kind of like one of those things where it's like if you go into something without a plan because you're not expecting to do it, like you have to like come up with a plan. And like for me, I was like I said, like they were kind of like accidental followers. Where like maybe the last like 5,000 were kind of like I sort of knew what I was doing, but at this point, like I've kind of like been like this is what I want to post about, but like I don't really know what to post anymore.
Can I be 100% honest with you?
Yeah.
My entire income right now is based off of things that happen accidentally for the most part. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's true.
Seriously, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Like I there was a point probably like less than 5 years ago where I was like, I never, ever, 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 ever want to work for myself. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I tried early on and I failed miserably, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it was just too much stress. It was too much anxiety. It was legitimately like, it hurt whenever I failed to the point where like I would legitimately sit at home and like legit cry tears like a and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I went back to work for other people, right? And I was completely and totally content with being somebody within the company that was either like part ownership or like worked my way to part ownership or like was just recognized as somebody at the top of the, you know what I mean? And I was comfortable with that. I was fine with that, right? And then I was at a gym that Riley knows very well and I was working very close with the owner, and it was one of those things where he and I had conversations where it's like, dude, we're gonna build out this whole spot for you. It's gonna be this awesome thing. It's gonna and it sounded great.
To be fair though, he's promised me a lot of just promises.
Yeah, whatever.
He was
But they did build out the opposite side. That whole area, that gym that they built out with the scale and everything. That was all. That scale was my idea. Like that whole office area was for
the nutrition. Room.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be something that was specifically geared towards
He never
the
did
amount of
that.
money that I already had X amount of income coming into the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all of my income was through the gym. So when you signed up with me at this time in my life, it wasn't with me. You were signing up with the gym to work with me. You know what I mean? But I was bringing in all my own clientele, right? And then somewhere along the way, communication got crossed, whatever it is. The bottom line is I wanted some of the money that I was bringing. I was getting, we were splitting everything 50-50, right? But at the end of the day, I still had to take taxes out. Like they were still taking, so I was walking home with, out of $10,000 a month that I was bringing to the gym, I was walking home with $2,000-$3,000 a month. You know what I mean? So like I was like, dude, I need more. Like I'm not bringing in all these people on my own just to get this small piece of bread, right? Like it's not enough.
Yeah.
So when I went to them and tried to negotiate something different, they actually hit me with an actual contract, which they never, I don't know about when you were there, but before that, they had never hit anybody with anything as far as, like, it wasn't a non-compete, it wasn't anything like that, it was a legit contract where they're like, here, we talked to Steve, and this is what we want to hit you with. Like, it basically was like, every calorie counts doesn't exist anymore. You legitimately have to kill the Instagram, right? You're now timid, but we'll do all this, to this, right? We should probably bleep that name out. I don't know how that works. But,
A little bit.
I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Oh.
Right there. Go.
There was, to my knowledge, there was only one other trainer that that had a contract. He was there when you were there. He was there when I was there. Bigger.
Johnny?
I didn't want to say any names.
Oh, okay. But not when I was there, though. Maybe afterwards.
You know who I'm talking about?
No. Maybe.
You could bleep out a name. It was.
Yeah, definitely not.
He had a lot.
Definitely not.
He was doing 50 hours a week.
Definitely not.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Even 50 hours a week, how much is he bringing in revenue?
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? So it was. But the point is, though, Sal, it was one of those things where, like, at that point, I had to make a decision where I was like, am I going to get here? You know what I mean? Like, what? I literally had to think to myself. I was actually, my wife was pregnant with my third child. Then I was literally thinking to myself, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? And there was a question in my head because I'm like, if I walk away from the gym, I walk away from a place to train. I had no other established, like, that was it, right? So it was one of those things where I actually had a conversation with somebody, and he was like, he literally came over to my house and was like, dude, I'll set you up on Square, which is the credit card merchant that we still use to this day. He was the one that put in all my information, like everything. Like, set me up on Square merchant. He's like, from here on out, I want you to, like, just call everybody, like, put all their credit cards through, showed me how to do it. And then it literally just started happening that way. And at first, I was still working at the gym while I was moving all these credit cards over, but I knew I was going to I would get fired if I got caught. You know what I mean? It ended up, we had that conversation beforehand anywhere where I had to go in and tell him no for that contract, right? So it was one of those things where it literally just all started to happen. From there, I literally left that gym, right? And within that week, I was like looking for other gyms to train at. And the next gym that I went to, it wasn't a matter of working for that gym. It was a matter of like, hey, can I basically pay you rent, right? And it was a commercial
like
gym.
Work out of.
Yeah, and it was a commercial gym, but I brought all my people in there, trained them in there. That gym actually closed down abruptly thereafter. So it was still like this feeling of like almost angst. What?
Sergio's gym?
Well, no. That was, I was in Metro at first on 516. That's now a Workout World. So that Metro went down. They sold to Workout World like right after I started bringing everybody in, or Jersey Strong it is now, whatever. But bottom line is that's a Jersey Strong now. I then went to that Sergio's gym. Shout out Serge. And I was in that gym again, paying them essentially rent, right? And I'd have all my clients in there, and then everything just started to continue to pick up as far as the online business is concerned. And now whatever it is, 3 years later, you know what I mean? Like I make, far more money than I could ever even imagine making in a gym. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question now.
But it was all by accident is the point. Like none of that shit was supposed, I'm telling you, and even a year ago, I would literally have a conversation with Austin and be like, dude, I don't know. We would talk about other coaches in the industry that have a team and have all these people underneath them. I'm like, I don't even know why they would want that anxiety. Like, if you're a coach, you can make $200,000 a year just like doing really well with your people and like staying within your lane. You don't need to do all these other extravagant like, you just coach people and do what you want to do and make really good money. Like, why bring on all these people? And he was telling me about people that have so many coaches underneath them with so many clients, they don't even know what the is going on anymore. for, right? Like they're just
Yeah.
making so much money, but they have no idea the intricacies of what's going on in terms of like protecting that or integrity or anything within that. But my point is, this happened all by accident. It happened all by accident. Like I couldn't have told you
This.
3 years ago. Seriously, I couldn't have
These
told you 3 years ago that I
things,
would
big
ever
one
have.
and two.
I would ever have
Number over here
enough
on the couch.
inquiries to be like, I don't need this inquiry, you can have it, or I don't need this inquiry, you can have it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
never would have thought that I would have gotten there. You know what I mean? But literally, if I didn't get forced to take that step out,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I'd still be working for somebody else. Like at a certain, and I know. Listen, we're talking about 20,000 followers on fucking Instagram. We're not
Yeah.
talking.
It's not, exactly.
But again,
But
how
it's the mindset.
how do you know that can't turn into something more than 20,000 followers on Instagram? How do you know you can't turn that 20,000 followers on Instagram into 50K a year?
Wait, I want to ask you a question, Tim.
Shoot, Chief.
Relevant to what we're talking about. When you first started this coaching and everything like this, social media wasn't as big as it is right now.
When I first started coaching, no, social media.
So how do you feel about, like, I mean, you're really struggling to figure out, not you're struggling, but you're really like putting all your effort into figuring out algorithms. You just made a TikTok for the, for the team.
Almost 60
Instagram-
followers.
Shout out Every Calorie Counts TikTok. The Instagram, now we're doing YouTube, stuff like that. Like, how do you feel about that transition of going from, you were basically word of mouth? I mean, were you not like almost 100% word of mouth from clients and yourself?
First of all, my back hurts. I'm gonna have to put my feet up here. We're getting close to the end, Chris. It's just like this. Am I good? Am I good here? You can't see it.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Zoom in on the toe.
They're covered. It's good. Chris, come on. Let the man live here. You know what I mean? All right.
He's old. Come on, bro. It's
Dogs are
back.
out.
Yeah, my back,
dogs are
my back.
barking. The dogs are barking.
How do I feel, you're saying? Going from referral-based system to like trying to figure out algorithms?
Yeah, to how you feel about it, or like.
We still
I
get
think-
a lot from
I was gonna say, I
referrals.
think-
We still got, I get most
Yeah.
of mine are from referrals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think no matter what, the foundation of our business is always going to be through referrals and honestly just doing good work. Like that's just the bottom line. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where I feel like we all have room to grow still, and in order to get to that next level, it's it's just a matter of kind of seeing what's in front of us. What are the avenues we have? Like, what are we going to do to garner more business other than take advantage of social media, which is obviously a free space at this point. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. That's the right mindset. I just know, like, I know I rip on you for it, but you are 10 years older than me, 12 years older than Marina. You know, it's like you come from a different. You do come from a different generation.
But if I'm being 100% honest, that's the scary thing for me. You know what I mean? Is like I can remember being your age, honestly, and not knowing what the I was gonna do, being dead broke, like legitimately like broke, like poor, right? Like 2 kids, 4 people in a 1-bedroom apartment that's like 700 square feet, and I'm paying $900 a month for it. Still can't afford gas money to be able to get to work in certain cases, like dirt poor at your age, and like not knowing what I'm going to do with it, you know what I mean, to where we're at now and having the ability to be able to put forth, like, honestly, a few $100 here and there for Instagram content. And again, I know what it's like to not have any hundreds of dollars whatsoever, but be in a position where we can spend that on a little bit of content, and all I have to do is sit here and click this, over and over and over again, and then eventually we're going to get one follower here, one client here, one client there, one client there. It's like, to me, it's almost like a no-brainer. Like, why not, go through that? And this is kind of bringing it back to you now.
Yeah.
It's a good point in the sense that if you look at our Instagram, our TikTok, our YouTube, we're not following no goddamn algorithm. And again, maybe we could have 10,000 followers if we did something more particular.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? I built all that from complete and total scratch, right? Everything that we have has been built based off of like accident and from scratch, right? And honestly, just for nothing other than, what else am I going to do? This is what I want to do. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. Like, what's the alternative? Like, there isn't a real alternative for me in terms of making this kind of money somewhere else. So it's like, this is all I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it's still working in the sense that it's kind of like hosting a business in the 2023 era that we're in. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, is a website even necessary anymore when you have Instagram, TikTok? Like, this is where people can find you.
Yeah.
So whether I have this big glamorous following, whether I'm getting a whole bunch of people from this or not, at the end of the day, it's still like a business is attached to it, and people can find us there. People can look at who we are there. It's kind of like a gallery of what you do and who you are and what you're kind of working with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people can kind of judge us based on that, if you would, whether they want to work with us or not. So it's still there for whatever reason that is applicable. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that would be what I would say to you. Like, even if what we're talking about here today doesn't work from like an algorithm standpoint, or it doesn't garner you additional followers, or it doesn't, you lose 5,000 followers, like I was saying before, who the cares if the 15,000 followers you have are more engaged than the 25,000 followers that you did have? You know what I mean? And those 15,000 followers are following you and resonate with you better. And then you can, you know, say, hey, I want to make a shirt. And now you have somewhere to drop that shirt. You see how, I would even argue like, hey, dude, keep doing what you're doing as far as posting is concerned.
Yeah.
Why not make a shirt?
Yeah, it's just more of a financial thing. Like, you have to be able, like, unless you do
Bro,
like
I'll give you a hookup for a shirt. You'll make your first run of shirts will be what? $200, $250, something like that, you know?
I don't remember.
Okay, something like that though. You know what I mean? And it's like, what is that? 2 days worth of flipping pizzas?
You could also do it per order.
Yeah, you could do like a pre-order style too, where like you
Where
know
they
what
give
you have.
where they give you the money first, they order it and then.
Yeah, you do like, oh, like orders have to be in by this time. Like, it's all things I've thought about, but it's a matter of like actually like doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's also like probably partially like me being like, oh, you know, like if it doesn't work, like blah blah. But like you kind of just have to be like, it, like just throw.
Who cares, bro? I got a trunk
Yeah.
full of t-shirts right now because we overbought those things. You know what I'm saying?
Because I need a double X.
Yeah, you don't need double
I'll
X.
buy another one from you. Honestly, I love this shirt.
But see, but that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like who, like even if you do like one shirt and it doesn't sell out immediately, it doesn't mean you failed, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you can still post it, buy 100 of those or whatever, 250, whatever the number is, right? Get them all different sizes, and you make a post now. You sell, you see what you sell out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then whatever, every 1st and 15th of the month, you make another post of that. You, even if you're just trickling them out, who cares? At the end of the day, you're making something where you would have made nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you and think about it, dude. It's probably just like the you know, stop looking at the clock, dude. You're making me nervous now. I'm starting to sweat. It's probably the same thing as your Instagram post, where it's like, how did you know that thing was going to go viral?
You didn't.
I didn't know.
Exactly. So what happens when you drop that one shirt that goes viral?
But it's also a matter
Ooh,
of like.
that was hot, kind of.
I agree. Yeah, no, it's very true. But the thing is, like, also like, I want to drop like some kind of shirt or like some merch or something, but it's like, what do? You can't just. I'm not gonna just be like, oh, throw a picture of myself on a shirt. You know, so it has to be like something you've actually like put thought into and been like, okay, like
Put a pizza on
I
a
would
shirt.
want
Boom.
to. Yeah, it could be something like that.
Pizza on a
Honestly,
shirt.
I
Like an
think you
Arnold,
just
like
put
an Arnold,
bodybuilding
dude, like
pizza,
throwing
man.
a pizza. And, like, doing the Z's.
Fire.
Yeah, there might have been something right there,
That's
right?
fire.
But
I was thinking more along the lines of like just your silhouette with your man bun. No?
True.
Yeah, the silhouette
And
with
just
his
like
man
a
bun
little
of him
tiny
like
SallyT.
this and throwing up
Like
a
your
pizza in the air.
signature.
With the man bun though,
Yeah,
it's got to be a
yeah.
man bun. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. It's like part of the personality now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's one of those like finding. But that's also like I said, like it's almost like making a brand for yourself.
Sal
And like
had
I feel like I
mullet.
haven't
You also,
done that
if you
yet.
did a shirt like that, you'd have a brand already. What's your
Agreed.
dad's pizza shop called?
Z Marie's.
Shout out, what?
Z Marie's. Z-I Marie's.
Really?
Yeah.
Z Marie's.
Z is like Italian slang for aunt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's what
Nice.
everybody used to call her when she cooked.
Sweet.
Z.
Yeah.
Okay, Z Marie's. Where's that?
It's in Holiday City in Toms River, New Jersey.
Holiday City, Toms River, New Jersey, Z Marie's. Cool.
Yeah.
Z
Cool,
Marie's.
cool. Are you guys on Uber Eats?
We're on DoorDash, Slice. We have our own app.
Has
Really? You
Port-
got your own app?
Yup.
has
Nice.
Portnoy come
No,
come
What do
she's
you
to
not
think-
gonna come
what-
there. We're in a retirement village. She won't come there.
What do you think he would rate your pizza?
7.6.
What?
You
Dude.
you had a rating in your head already to give that
Look,
answer.
I've already said it to my dad. That's what we would get.
Okay.
That's
I want to
according
edit this
to Dave.
now, right? And I want to come back, and you better say 8.6 or
Wait,
something like that. What
Well,
kind
no,
of
should bring-
do you know?
This pizza
Yeah,
next
I hope your
episode.
dad beats you with a belt when you get
Do you
home.
know his
His,
system though?
his 7.6 is really good.
7.6
Yeah,
is
no,
To
not-
it
his
is,
rating,
it is
to his
really
rating,
good.
it's really good.
like
Okay,
a 7.6 is like if that's in your town, you go there. An 8 point anything 8 to 9 is
We
like
have, we have
You travel.
Doritos. We
Yeah.
have Doritos, which
like
is
any
I'm
8 to
pretty
9
sure
is
like
like you
a
drive an
8
hour, and like if it's over a 9, you fly there.
We had
like, that's what it
Delusions.
is.
Yeah.
It's right in Raritan. There was like a 9.2 or something
Yep.
like that.
Oh yeah, what's
that
it
one.
called?
Four.
That was a
Di
good one.
Lorenzo's.
East
Di
Coast.
Lorenzo's in Robbinsville got a 9.5. Place the best pizza I ever had in my life.
So good. I love pizza.
You're not supposed to say that, dude. You own a fucking pizza shop.
I don't
But
give a
seriously,
f-
you
I'm real.
why not
Di
use that?
Lorenzo's
Why not
pizza.
make that? Why not make that shirt
I
like a
love
Z Marie's shirt? Seriously, and it's like now you're doing both a little bit at the same time. You know what I mean? Like that could be cool. All
Yeah.
I'm saying is you probably haven't looked enough into this 20,000 followers, man. And I want
Probably
your account.
Long
Sell it to me.
story short,
You can have my account. I'll sell it to you.
Sounds good. Now we're talking.
Free shirts.
Honestly,
Done.
I'll give you 5 free
So,
shirts. You
seriously,
crazy?
is there anything you think you want to add to the podcast that we completely totally didn't touch on because all we did was talk about 20,000 Instagram followers? For the record, I know 20,000 followers on Instagram isn't that much, but I'm enamored with it because I only have 5,000 followers. So you're
Yeah.
big time to me. But
I only have
Very sweet.
7,000.
go f yourself. Aliens, 7,000. It's because people are intrigued with your translucent skin.
Translucent.
Oh, what's this albino looking mother today?
Chris called me a vanilla gorilla the other day.
Yeah, how much bison is he gonna eat today?
Chris called me a vanilla gorilla.
And you didn't even do anything on your Instagram. You're the worst Instagrammer here, honestly.
That's true.
Chris is pretty rad too, which I don't even get because you're a videographer.
How am I bad?
Barry, do you have an Instagram?
I do.
Have you ever posted? Actually, you know what? What kind of cheese do you use
For what?
at the pizzeria?
Like what? Like what kind of cheese or what brand?
Yeah, like what brand?
Top of the pie.
What the f, dude? You're not making your own mozzarella? This is where you're going wrong, all right? I want you to bring this back to your dad, and I want you guys to seriously consider
Dad,
making your own ones.
I have advice from
getting some
Timothy English.
getting some
The
fresh
Tim
mutts,
English
all
and
right?
fresh
And
mutts.
then I'm telling you right now, you're gonna skyrocket up those ranking boards.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 9.3 minimum,
I have a
guaranteed.
video of me making pizza. I can show you.
We're gonna turn this podcast into a business podcast. What were those two fingers? You talking about? Hard. I was, but I was kind of doing one of these. You know what I mean? I was trying to send signals your way.
The audio's been like,
Wrap it up.
All right. It's been a pleasure, Sal.
absolute pleasure.
All right. I feel like next time you got to wear your hair down.
Next time you have to bring
I can
us
do that.
pizza.
Yeah, that's. I don't know why we didn't establish this beforehand.
Yeah.
You can't have pizza.
Thank you for watching Every Calorie Counts Off the Clock. Another special thanks to our sponsors, Aries Nutrition and Oddball Sports. I hope you guys enjoyed and tune in next week for our next episode. If you guys want to submit questions for next week, leave a comment down below.